Hey guys, Take Me here, and today's video is quite different. I hope you guys can hear me because yesterday no one could hear me. Even though they said the video was really good, I don't know if you guys can hear me now. Today's video is quite different. It's about consoles, which is about the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X, where it would be releasing on somewhere in June of 2020, last last week June of 2020, or somewhere further. But because of the coronavirus pandemic, they might take delay to release the new consoles. But for now, I would be explaining a bit depth about both the consoles and would also recommend you guys which one to buy if you are ready to buy. And would also explain why one console is better than the other. So stay tuned. Okay, so we're going to first break down the main components of the console for PlayStation, what many of you guys have been waiting for. Um, their specs are really good and which have been really improved compared to other PS4 Slim and Pro, since what they have said is a combination of PS4 Slim and PS4 Pro, and they're right, to be honest, since it has similar features to of Series X, I believe, having 8x Zen number 2, which means the frequency will be much higher, around 3.5 gigahertz. And to be honest, their frequency 3.5 gigahertz is so good that it will work double times. It will work much faster compared to the other PS4 consoles. Um, when you buy the PS5, when you buy PS5, it looks like the CPU has been customized. It looks like more of a CPU, but in a customized function, since its main goal is to match the Sony's lofty ambitions. The graphic cards are also important, but it is a very good graphic card which has a custom RDNA too, for which is from the AMD obviously, and the RDMA2 is the brand new, the newest architecture, and it has been placed for the first time in PS5, PlayStation 5. Also, it runs at 10.28 to be exact, 10.28 teraflops S, running at 2.23 gigahertz, I believe. Now they have an excellent ray tracing support and rendering, and they have also have a 4K display now, which means when you buy the PS5, its main goal is to attract the users, to entertain the users for rendering, which is um, 8 4K display, of course, and having it because since it has a Blu-ray disc drive, uh, which will make a realistic display. If you guys have a Sony TV, of course, it'll be much better since PlayStation is under Sony, and if having a Sony TV could be much better, but that does not mean you really need to have a Sony TV. You can have any TV, but the display is really good. This is for all the these are all the information that I know and I have been given by many other users. Yeah. Now let's move on to the Xbox console. The only reason I'm describing it short because my goal is to like give out the main features, but main key features so that everyone knows, okay, what can I know from this console. Now let's move on to the Xbox Series X console, which many of you guys surely have been waiting for. Now the specs are really good compared to the Xbox One S and Xbox One X. It's so good that it is known by the Microsoft, it is known to be the most powerful game console. Its release date was actually in the holiday of 2020. Holiday of 2020 means like June or July, but thing is, due to the pandemic, they could not release it. Now they manufactured it already, but the releasing date have been delayed to either on October or December. The price is still being rectified or still being processed by the Xbox officials, but the key features are really good. It has a 4K visuals at 60 frames per second, but also 8K at 120 frames per second. So which means they can support two ways, which is the 4K HD and the 8K HD at 60 frames per second and 120 frames per second. Their key games are Halo and Hellblade. So if any of the Halo gamers or the Hellblade gamers out there, it's the best option for you, since it has a 4K visual and an 8K visual at 60 frames per second and 120 frames per second. Their SSD is 1 terabyte, meaning they have a very big storage compared to the PS5 spec. With having custom AMD Zen number 2, they have a 16 GB GDDR6 with a 12 teraflop RDNA 2 GPU. Now, what that means is that the Xbox Series X, the compatibility will be so fast compared to PS5 because we have seen the storage. And to be honest, PS5 looks bigger than compared to Xbox Series X. Because if you look at the image, I know it hasn't been released yet, but look at the image. Xbox Series X looks like a box. If you guys have been to Google Images, of course, if you guys are curious enough, you can just check it out on Google. I don't know if there's an image of Xbox Series X which you can see right now. So what you have seen so far, Xbox Series X looks more like a box, a cubic box, and it's actually small. But think about it: a small looks like a small box, but who knows how does it look? Because no one has ever bought. Obviously, they'll be the first person to buy. Someone would be there, but it's not released yet. But if you look at the Google images, if you look from Google, it actually looks like cubic. And many of you might wonder how can a console like that have a better storage than a PlayStation which looks really big. Now I don't know. Xbox did such an amazing job by actually making it more compatible, and due to the because we're living in 21st era now, the console becomes smaller and smaller and smaller, but with a heavy storage, high storage compared to the PlayStation. Now the PlayStation has looks quite like PlayStation, but the Xbox does not look like Xbox. It looks like Cube. But PlayStation spec is less compared to Xbox, and evidences are there. It's there because uh, the PlayStation 5 specifically has a 10 teraflop S, but the Xbox Series X has a 12 teraflop S, and PlayStation also has around 829 gigabytes, which is quite less compared to the other PS4s we have seen so far. No, more, but think about Xbox. Xbox has 1 terabyte, also 100 gigabytes. So if people are mistaken by saying that PlayStation has 1 terabyte, this is to all the PlayStation users. You guys are wrong. It's 829 gigabytes, but Xbox Series X has 1 terabyte and it looks like a cube. Now let's move on to the comparisons. Now, in my opinion, like we have seen everything. We have not really everything, but the key facts of the console. Now, PlayStation, okay, let's try to summarize it a bit. PlayStation has um what PlayStation has, Xbox has the same. They have the 8X Zen number 2, also with 256 gigabytes. Both of them has the both of them has all at 3.5 gigahertz. They have the fast pace, fast gameplay, realistic gameplay, fast CPU. The graphic cards is also good, which is a custom RDNA number 2 from AMD. But their teraflop S is 10.3, I mean 10.28 in the PlayStation compared to the Xbox Series X having 12 teraflop per second. Um, when when it comes to resolution, when it comes to, I mean, sorry, the processor and the compatibility, I would say PlayStation is much better than Xbox. But when it comes to the real one, which is the GPU and the CPU, Xbox Series X is much better than the PlayStation 5. See, for this comparison, I would recommend everyone to buy what they want because yeah, I'm being honest because both of them looks exactly same. I mean, they have the same internal process, they have the same mm, compatibility, they have the same AMUD, they have the same storage, they have the same processor, but the only difference is that one of them has 10.28 teraflop S, but the other one has 12 teraflop S. Yes, but the other one, Xbox Series X, also has 4K at 60 frames per second, also 8K at 120 frames per second. But the PlayStation does not have frames per second. but they have 4K. They have 4K resolution. Yes, I agree. If they do, the max they would have is 60 frames per second, what I believe, because according to what the information given by the Sony, they have said that it is 4K, with what I have seen is 60 frames per second, because there are two consoles for PS5, I believe, which is the PS5, the normal one, and the PS5 digital audio. So there might be comparisons. If I'm mistaken, please comment down below. But what I've seen so far, Xbox Series X is leading the way compared to PlayStation 5. So in my opinion, any PlayStation users out there, I hope you guys change to Xbox, because as you have seen, the Xbox compatibility and the accessibility in Xbox Series X is much better compared to PlayStation. Um, it's a short video since I really don't know much about it. When it's released, hopefully I can buy one and we'll show you guys the differences between Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5. For now, I'm going to end the video here. Hope you enjoyed the video. Give a big thumbs up to this video. Smash the like button, smash the subscribe button. Make sure to follow me on Instagram, which is _.s1ad. And yeah, take care, stay safe, peace out.